The next thing I want to do, instead of talking about the main topic, I want to talk about something else that's entirely, well, not entirely different, but something that kind of crossed my mind in geology class.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so before I start, there's this, in our geology class, in the very beginning of the semester, how many students were there?
Probably around 25, I'm saying.
25?
It was a full class.
It was. And I was surprised at, like, oh my god, there's, like, I've never seen a class so full than the geology class. And we have a class Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Today is Tuesday. Yesterday, there was only 4 people.
And it's the same 4 that always show up to class.
You two
And Sam.
and Sam and that one.
But I want to talk about that because it frustrates me that we are paying money to go to these classes, and I'm pretty sure half of them, or most of them, were freshman students that don't even show up anymore. The person that I was sitting next to the beginning of the semester, he was sitting in front of, or next to me, and we were like really good friends. Like we were talking, and like I can see this like friendship, and then he just stopped showing up to class. And it's just, and he was a freshman student. Do you guys have any idea or have any thoughts about that? Because am I the only one that's getting frustrated with this? Even though I'm a student and I'm not a teacher, I'm pretty sure the teachers are even having more frustration than I am.
Well, we talked about this earlier, and I don't know. I think if your class is critical to your major, like if it's going to be a serious importance to what you're doing in your life, there's not a reason for you to be skipping. Like, I don't care if you went out and got too drunk the night before. That's your fault. Prioritize and get your butt in class.
Yeah.
Because you're wasting your money. Like, these classes, while they are cheaper than universities, that's still a large chunk of change to be thrown away because you don't want to go to class because you're too tired from partying.
Or you're just too lazy to get up, you know.
Just go to class.
Well, I'm not even talking about just that, I was too drunk, I don't think I'm going to show up to class. I mean, they show up every single other class, but not that day. I'm talking about just not even showing up at all. Like, the athletes, most of them don't even show up anymore.
Well, I think Professor Sweetland actually dropped students, which is a thing because it's not just him. Professors on their syllabi are allowed to say
if you miss a certain amount of days, they will notify you when you have 1 or 2 more absences, and then after that they just drop you.
There's not even a warning in my night class. If you don't show up to one class, you get dropped automatically.
Really?
You fail the class and you get dropped.
That's wow. Well, yeah, I heard that too. That was in our class, which we're gonna.
She's trying to enforce that you need to quit being lazy and get your
she's
butt
trying
to
to make
class.
sure that people go to class and that the class they're paying for, that they go to and pass. And it's more of a reason to go because, you know, if you miss one, you're in one and done, I'm pretty sure everyone's going to go to that class every time, you know, because you're paying for it.
And I'm not saying this to like yell at the freshmen. I'm just saying because I was in the exact same boat. My first semester here, I only showed up maybe 10 times in the entire semester, and it hurts me right now because my GPA crashed. It was really bad, and I'm trying to bring that up. And I'm telling the listeners here that they should, think about the future. What you want to do right now is far less important than what you'd want to do in the future. The things that matter, I get it. Especially for this semester alone, I'm like, I don't want to go to class. I have one class on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do I really have to listen to my professor watching a video? And I'm like, I don't want to do that, but I know that it's going to hurt me in the future. And so you have to just think about the long run. Does that make sense to
Yeah.
you guys?
Oh, yeah.
I just think that if you're not in class, and I don't care if your buddy goes and gets notes for you, you're not going to get the same material that you're going to get from your professor. Your professor gives you valuable material that's going to help you in this class. If you're not going, your buddy could be skipping something. Because sometimes when I take notes, if I don't think it's important, I don't write it down. So if you weren't there, you could have thought it was important, but I didn't write it down, so now you don't know.
Which, do you think the people in the corner, because they're both athletes, and there's one guy and one girl, and they don't even show up at the same time. Do you think that's what they're doing? Because I think that's what they're doing.
I don't know. Either way, it's not helping.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Because one or both of them are suffering because they're not getting all the material because they're not there.
Yeah.
I just know, like what? Today is November 3rd, we're almost done with semester, we have less than a month left, and Caleb, you and I haven't missed a single class. Yeah. We've gone every day.
Well, I was sick one day.
That's right. He was sick one day, but that's unavoidable.
Yeah, that's an excuse.
Yeah. If you're sick, it's nothing to do about it. But, in the previous semesters, I had to miss one for, a funeral another day because I was sick. But other than that, I'm always in class. I have not missed a single class period this semester. And in certain classes, especially especially my biology class, if I had missed a lab, or not a lab, if I had missed a lecture, then I probably would have not gotten a big piece of information.
I'm noticing in our math class, they're all high school students, and maybe 2 or 3 people don't even show up anymore, and they're the people that are in college. So it's more of the people that are actually a senior in high school that are going to college classes. They're the ones that stay in class.
Which is so fun.
That will hurt their high school GPA, though, because I did concurrent in high school, and one of my friends decided that they weren't going to show up anymore. So eventually our principal was like, hey, you're not going to be allowed to take college classes if you don't show up. Well, if you can't take the college class, then you don't get that many credit hours on your transcript. You just, you screwed yourself.
Yeah, well, and the funny thing is, the state government, they pay for college or high school kids to be able to go to class, so they're not paying anything, but yet they're going to class and they're staying motivated and getting to school. But someone who is paying for classes and they are spending, a lot of them, probably 80% of them are paying out of their own pocket for their own classes, and they can't even show up. Versus someone who is showing up who doesn't have to pay a dime.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to ask you guys, because it was frustrating to me just seeing that.